Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. And I know I've been gone for a while. I didn't even realize that it has been so long, like more than a month. Until someone pointed out, like, are you quitting the other channel, this channel? No, I'm not quitting this channel. I just don't have a lot to say. And to be honest, I have gone just not doing anything at all, like just I think I have given up on life, like almost literally, because I just slept and I spent most of my days lying down and I ate when I need to eat, but I didn't really eat much. And I think I'm just in a very like surrender type of place emotionally and mentally and everything. It's just like I stopped caring, basically. I legitly stopped caring about life. And in a serious sense, I think maybe more. Just like because everything I did never didn't work out, and even if I try again, it still doesn't work out. So I mean, I just came to that feeling of my life is not ever going to work out, so why even try? And I guess I'm preparing myself for the end, sort of like just like okay, I'm just not even afraid of the worst case scenario. I'm kind of like expecting for the worst case scenario to happen to me, and for so that I have an excuse to just be very, I don't know, unreasonably panicking kind of. Even today, I had a message that probably usually would trigger me into a freeze mode that it would last for like, I don't know, a month. Usually, I would just feel very icy and my limbs would feel very weak, and I would feel as if that I am, I'm going to die and everything is attacking me. And it just feels like an existential death. When I say existential, I mean like, the visceralness of it, like as if the world is caving in on me and everything, and it's just going to strangle me and suffocate me. It's just the worst case possible way of dying. That's how it feels usually when I'm having like one of those trauma triggered moments. But today it definitely triggered stress response with me. Like I did feel like the feeling of being hit by a wave of truck, a wave of like the feeling of, worst case say it's gonna happen, but it didn't really lead to a freeze response the way it usually does. Usually by now I would not be able to communicate at all. I would not be able to talk. I would not even be able to talk to or like read manhua or play games or whatever. I would just lie and talk to ChatGPT so that I can regulate myself. Um, and like that's what usually would happen, but right now it's not happening. I think it's because it's like just just end me already. It's like, someone who's like waiting for a death, like a death row inmate. Like after a while, like at first, like you're so scared of death, probably you're so scared of, being, I think like the fear is probably being scared to be tortured. That's probably what the fear is. But I feel like right now I've have done my times for so long. I just want to, like, if I were a death row inmate, I would just like for the process to be sped up already, to speed it up, please, speed it up. I don't really want to be waiting for it to come and just like keep hanging the knife on my neck all the time. It's just like, I'll just get it over and done with. I don't particularly have anything that I can do to help myself at this time. My energy level is beyond tanking. Like it's not even zero. It's like minus 40, zero down below for something, like level wise. And it's like, and it's not coming back. And even if it comes back up a little bit, it probably comes back like a little bit, like 0.001 energy plus. As you can see, I'm a bit unhinged, but I feel like that's the space that I am occupying right now. My head is like that. My sleep schedule is whacked right now. I'm going to sleep at like 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning. Yesterday, I tried to push it to 10 o'clock at in the morning by drinking coffee around 7 a.m. and it didn't help so much. I ended up sleeping, I think, around 10 a.m. or 10:30 a.m., but mainly around like 8 a.m. So that's about an hour after I finished my coffee. I started like having a really serious anxiety. And I won't call it a panic attack. I won't call it anxiety attack. It was just like suddenly I was so afraid that the 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 apartment buzzer would go off. Like that's usually a good sign for me to know that I'm having a really high anxiety level. But in this case, I knew why because I had coffee. Like even if it's a decaf coffee, like what I'm drinking right now, it was enough to spike like the cortisol that I probably already have high level of in the morning anyway. So this is like doping basically because like by using this, I'm actually adding more cortisol into the system. And the fact that I was like suddenly anticipating a buzz, like my apartment buzzing and it's going to be so loud, was like an indicator that I should get out of bed and do something, like walk and do something physical. And I did. I went to like the shopping center so I could just at least move around. And also I was craving bread. So I'm like thinking, oh my god, I wanted like fresh bread, and you only can get fresh bread in the morning. But I usually wake up really late because won't go to bed like around 6 or 5. So I wake up around 2 in the afternoon, and then I stay in bed until like 6 in the evening. And then my getting out of bed time was getting worse and worse. Like I was getting out of bed like maybe 2 days ago was at 7:30 p.m. and I stayed in bed since like mid midnight. So it's like I'm in bed for at least like 20 hours, 18 hours, and I'm laying down most of the time anyway. So I'm just saying I feel like I'm not really in depression as much because it doesn't feel like doom and gloom as such. It just feels like there is no more energy in the tank. And because it feels a bit weird, right? Because I'm still registering a lot of trauma responses. I'm still registering a lot of um, anxiety as well. But the difference is it doesn't linger as much as it used to. It still does. It still does linger, but the amount of time is it before it was just like permanently stays there for a long time, but now it's just go like this. So it just dips and then it comes back up and then just dips, it comes back up. So it's more like the frequency is still there, but the permanency is a little bit less. Before it was just like if it goes down, it will just stay down for a long, long time. But now it's just like it dips and then it comes back up and then it dips, it comes back up. So like it's still prone to darkness. It's still prone to negative emotions and negative thoughts a lot. It still does. But it's not like I feel like there's a certain amount of benchmark. Like there is a difference in benchmark. Before the benchmark was really low, so it just stays low. But now the benchmark I feel is higher, so that when it does go low, it comes back up faster because uh, that's the new threshold that is currently normal. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not because, to be honest, one of the reasons why I'm not like doing anything is also because my finances is getting worse and worse, and I am not blaming anyone over that. I'm not complaining about it either, but that also means that just because I'm not complaining about it doesn't mean I'm actually can do anything in my life without it. It just means I shut up about it because I know it irritates other people. I know it irritates me myself even when I'm listening to it. And I know I'm not doing anything about it. Like I'm not applying for any kind of jobs right now because um Also, have you seen the job market lately? Like the amount of jobs that has been applied, no, that has been advertised, is like crazy. Like last year, the jobs advertised would be about 75K ish. Now the same job would be saying like it's about 60K plus admin. So the amount, the budget actually went down for advertised jobs right now. So it's a bit crazy actually. It's like weird. Like there's a lot of things happening in the world that I found to be annoying because like the war, for example, in Iran. And it feels like, oh, this again, because I remember like in 1991, so I was 7 probably. I remember like about the war in Middle East. This was when George Bush Senior. So not George W. Bush, George Bush Senior. So George W. Bush father while still a president. So he's the president before Clinton, I think, because Clinton is sandwiched between two Bushes. Sorry, that just sounded really wrong. Like I remember, like even as a like a low middle income member of family in Southeast Asia, like I knew, like, oh, this is serious, a war in the Middle East. But now, like thinking about it, like 30 years later, like almost 40 now, it's like it's still going on. It's still repeating the same kind of scenario again and again, and it just feels very overwhelming. It just makes me feel like, what's the point of this life of trying to find a job, trying to get ahead, trying to get better, trying to do everything that is right? Like when you are basically at the mercy of this oligarch, of this incompetent government going to take it all away and just going to make sure that you are going always going to be oppressed and everything. I know it sounds like a very helpless, like a learned helplessness type of situation, which it is, and which I am, and I'm not denying that at all. And of course, like the also autumn has started, so my skin has gotten really bad again. If you've been following my vlogs from the Valorine channel, like I'm always having problems because this is an autoimmune response, right? It's like I have Hashimoto, which is an autoimmune that is attacking the thyroid, that causing hypothyroidism, which is why my energy is always low. And every year I always have problem with this skin on my palm, and it's raw, and usually it would get really bad and it would start to bleed and everything. You can watch it in my vlogs, like especially from the year-long documentary that I recorded in 2024. Yeah, so I'm not posting because I don't particularly have anything to offer. I'm just exhausted beyond belief, beyond everything. Like I feel I'm just scrolling, reading manhwa, graphic novels, basically, and playing my township game. That's it. That's all I'm doing because I can do it with just my thumbs. That's as much energy as I have. Um, I'm not even like, it's just so weird because like when it comes to money, I'm like, I know like I'm in a dire need of money, but my brain just wanted everything just to end. Like, I'm okay, I'm safe, I'm not going to harm myself, or blah blah blah. And if you do blah blah blah, you also probably need to go to Lifeline and all those available help and go talk to a professional. Disclaimer done. And I'm not gonna do that, but I do wish someone just take me out already. Like, I don't know, like just instant, just instant, because I don't want to analyze myself, because I know the circumstances. If you alive yourself, is you are gonna be sent back to Earth, living the same sort of like scenario of life that you have right now. So it's not going to be like any difference. at all. You're just going to repeat it again. But there is one side of it, which is I won't have any memories of my past life. So I might be here right now as a punishment from the past life that I did before. Maybe I did analyze myself in the previous life before this one. That's why this life is becoming feeling so hard. Even though from the outside it doesn't seem like my life is hard, I feel like yeah. But anyway, like getting a job is gonna be difficult now. So it's all what last time I had a job was 2012. So that was like 14 years ago. And the word 14 years is a long time. Like it's more than a decade and a half and stuff. So like that's a long time not to have a job, not to be under someone's rule, not to listen to anyone tell you what to do and stuff. And the job market is so different now. Like everything is I don't know anything about anything really. And with AI, I feel like a lot of white collar jobs are so redundant now. I think like you can do a lot of things with AI, and also at the same time, I don't know about Australia job market as much. I have become a useless middle-aged woman, basically. I think which I feel like is a bit harsh to talk about yourself like that. But I think from objectively from the outside, I am that, and all my resource, all my income sources have died, like died. So now I'm like in this new territory of like, what am I gonna do? I don't particularly have any more energy to figure out like a new source of income. I remember like when I started my Society 6 business in 2014, I was 30 years old, and I remember saying to myself, okay, let's just do this for 10 years because by 40, I don't think I would have any more energy to try anything new. And I'm 42 now. I had my birthday about a week or two ago. And I really don't have energy. It's all spent. I am probably in energy debt right now with my body, with my own body. And I really feel very weird because in the past, like maybe in 2015, 2016, those 2 years when and 2017, so like 2 years and a half ish, where I practically didn't eat because I don't have any food to go, like to buy food. I don't have money to buy food, and but at that time I think I would still like have this ambition of like, yeah, I want to figure it out, I want to figure out how to make money online passively, in an asynchronous manner, meaning like, your the time of your work is not related to the way, like, so it's not linear, you don't put in your time and then money comes out. That's synchronous, um, in a digital way and blah blah blah. I never really succeeded in a big way, but it did definitely carry me somehow to survival. But that era has ended this year. Everything that I did the past 14 years, 12 years, whatever, has dried up. So it's going to zero, and I am living off my savings now. And my savings is not really that big at all. So now I can't even afford emergency fund whatsoever. So if there is an emergency, I'm just going to wing it and just say I can't afford it. So, let it roll. I'm in that place now. The difference is maybe a few years back, or like not even a few years, maybe like about 6 months back, I would still go into panic mode and freeze mode. I would just have like this iciness all over my body, weaknesses all over my limbs and everything. Um, I think maybe because I still cared. I still cared about like being alive. I still cared about something. I still cared. But I feel like right now, all that cares are gone as well. It's like, God, just take me. Just take me. I don't care anymore. I don't really fucking care. I have gone delulu. I have gone like past a threshold of delusional. Of like, yeah, I don't care. The devil can come and pick me up. I know, like, I have gone unhinged when I'm. This is a secret between you and I, okay? When I have started contemplating, I've been watching this Battle of Fates. It's a TV show from Korea about mudang and psychics. Basically, it's like a psychic survival show where you basically are given opportunity to prove your psychic skills. So there's a lot of like most of the people that actually got into the grand final is mudang. Mudang is basically shaman Korean way. So it's Korean version of shaman, and it's quite distinct. Like it's distinct from religion, right? Like religion, you can be Catholic and still go to shaman, Korean shaman. It's like it's a very cultural thing. So after I finished watching it, like season one at least, I was basically trying to emulate it. Like I was trying to like jump and like, oh, I know it sounds like so silly. And I know if you see me, you're probably gonna think she has gone crazy. That lady has gone off the rail. And I'm pretty sure I have right now even. And I just felt like, oh, maybe that's like a good way to end this. Maybe like if I, because I don't want, I'm like I still feel like I'm still want to take care of the body in some ways, because I don't feel like the body, this body has done anything wrong. It's just that me, the one that is living in this body, is really don't really want to hang around here as much. So like I was, when I was watching like this Mudang TV shows, I'm thinking, oh, there's a lot of like, they have to do a lot of rituals for the mudangs, of course, but one of the most prevalent one is like they would probably have a guardian deity watching over them as someone who is the main deity that is providing all the advice to people, to the clients. So, for example, like if I'm doing a psychic reading with you, I would call my guardian deity, and then I would have him either take over my body, and like Bashar, you know how Bashar take over Daryl Anka's body to deliver his messages and stuff like that, and how Abraham Hicks is also like that. Like Abraham would take over Esther's body and to deliver um, their messages through Esther bodies. It's like that with shamanism as well. Like, and you can tell like from all the conversation when it comes to Abraham um, or Bashar, they basically are like past life of each other. Like, so there's an ancestry type of relationship with the person or the personality that takes over the body and stuff. It's similar. Shamanism is also like that. The Mudang Korean version is similar to that as well. Like they usually have like the deities called either grandmother or general. So it's usually in their ancestors, in the ancestral line somehow. So I guess it's just like the same thing but different names and different culture. So it's just dressed up differently. But for me, it's like, well, maybe I can like I know this sounds crazy, and I swear I know how this sounds. I'm like, maybe I can do that so that I don't have to occupy this body alone, so I can escape when I want to. I'm not saying like I want a ghost to take over my body, because that's not great. Like I don't want my bodies to be used and to be abused by some entity that is negative or whatever, maybe having a grudge or like a revenge happening. So I don't want that, but I do want it for it to be used somehow usefully and maybe for goodness. And I'm not doing that. So I was thinking maybe I should do that. Like if I were Bashar, I would spend a lot of time away from the body, right? Like, and if I were Abraham Hicks, like Esther, I would also spend a lot of time out of my body, like having Abraham or Bashar takes over. And it is for the serve for the humanity. But I probably would go with the Abraham Hicks type style because they are actually monetizing that. Well, Bashar isn't really. Bashar, like Bashar and Daryl Anka. Daryl has his own job, and Bashar is just more like his community work. While Abraham Hicks is actually set up differently. Like Abraham Hicks, like Abraham's work, like and teachings is usually is the business. So Esther is actually monetizing that. So I probably prefer that. Like I'm out of the body a lot, and I'm getting paid to to be out of the body. Yes, please. I would like that, please. But as I said, I'm running out of ideas on how to monetize it. Like even my YouTube is going downhill, and I feel like in some degree I am trying to destroy it, and not by actually trying something new. I knew it would change the algorithm a lot, and it would tank my channel. Maybe that is a very self-destructive habits that I am doing right now, and that's my self-destructive habit that I'm implementing, which is trying something new, uh, even when it's a bit negatively impacting my only thing that still kind of pulling something out of thin air. Yeah, but like my right now, my Society 6 sales is zero for 2 months in a row, and it has never ever been zero in my whole entire 12 years of being on there. And I saw Redbubble sales. I had Redbubble sales was like $230 was my sale, but Redbubble is taking $213. So I was left with $17. That means it's not enough for me to get the money out from Redbubble because they need $20 minimum to take the money out. And it's just so insane. So out of the $200 earnings that I made, um, so that's already minus costs. They basically Dark Bubble is basically taking the profit of $213, so 99% of my money, and kept it for itself. It's like insane. It's like insane. But that has been happening for a couple of years now. So I knew that was a trajectory that it was going, and also Society 6. So I knew like going in, like finishing last year, especially, I knew like, especially last year, that that was the direction to which it goes, all of them. And so by the time it finished last year and this year started, I really am starting like from zero, and I really don't know what to do and to start and what to, like by the end of last year I was still fighting it, meaning like I was still applying for jobs. I got a couple of interviews, so there was a lot of fight still going on, like from me anyway. But the past 2 months, or this year specifically, I think the past month, or maybe more specifically since February, I think I just gave up. I just gave up everything. I'm like, okay, let me just. Then I'm like, I can't do it. I don't do it. Like I just I'm praying a lot these days because I feel like that's my last resort. I'm praying a lot. Not that I'm praying, but I'm putting like a prayer, Wangdu prayer from YouTube. I'm doing that right now, and Wangdu prayer is a bit weird. Wangdu prayer is basically a Buddha Tibetan prayer. It's a chant, so you basically listen to a lot of chants. I realized that my system, maybe my autistic brain, really likes the Buddhism chants. Like I like Heart Sutra, for example, a Zen Japanese Heart Sutra, Buddhism chant prayer, because it's really like na, 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 na. But Wangdu prayer, that's like the rhythm for the Heart Sutra, which I really like because it makes you clear your brain. It's like it just clears everything. It feels like your brain is clear, your mind is clear, everything is clear. It's like emptying things, which is what it's supposed to do. But with Wangdu prayer, it feels very different. It feels like it's. It feels like this. It feels like it's very melodic. It's very, very feminine. Like I guess, like where Hot Sutra is much more masculine. It's like more. It's like do because they use the drum, like this wood drum to elicit the chants as well. But with Wangdu prayer, is a lot of melodic things. And the first few times I meditated with it. When I say meditated, I just mean like lying down and just listening to it without doing anything up on the bed. Just go like, it's on the YouTube, it's like next to me on my phone, and I'm just laying down there and stuff, and just like try not to move if you can. Um, and then it's probably bad, like laying down and listening to all of this is because you can fall asleep. And that's what usually happens. I would fall asleep. Like even today, I made sure I had an alarm on when I was listening to the Wangdu prayer and it actually needed that alarm because it went off because I realized, oh my God, I fell asleep. So needed that. But the first few times, like one of the effect that it had on me was my heart chakra was opened and stuff, and suddenly I hear myself like, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you so much, and everything. So after that effect, like this happens quite a lot, like when I listen or do a lot of practices in life and stuff like that. But um, I just received another message that is triggering. So maybe I talk too soon. Maybe I am very much still having a trauma impact still because my body just went limp and cold and everything. So maybe I was talking too soon. Maybe I am. Maybe I needed to. I don't know. I need to do something. Maybe I feel like should I end this or should I keep talking and reply to the message that I really don't want to be replying? So, but I don't have anything else to say. Basically, that's where I'm at right now, and I think I need to regulate myself again. But anyway, when I say like I really love myself and everything, this happens quite often with a lot of spiritual practices because other effects are also the opposite, which means like I would have a lot of moments where I just feel like it's just not worth it, and I would have recently what would happen is I would start saying help me, help me, help me, help me. I need a lot of help. I need a lot of help. I need a lot of help. So I guess like just doing a lot of or listening to a lot of the prayers actually helped me. And also by adding the word help me in my head, I'm trying to take away the focus from consistently saying that I am not, that I want to and index everything to more like a past, at least active resistance or like active desire to like I do want the situation to get better. I do want things to go into a direction where I can be more active in repairing my own situation, but I don't know how. So I will need help, and I don't have the energy or resources to think it out for myself. So I am in a position where I'm probably going to end up in a very negative space. So I really would like help to navigate, the way forward. So I guess like I am using the prayers and the meditations in a lot more active kind of begging way, like a more traditional way than I did before. Well, I think before it was a lot more kind of affirmation. It's like, oh, I believe I am safe in this body, which is a lie. I believe that I am not going to, I believe like everything's gonna be okay. Everything like blah blah blah. Like a solution is gonna come to me. Everything. So But now it's like I'm abandoning that method because that method doesn't seem like it's going to work out. So I would just say to it like, help me, I don't know what to do, I really don't know what to do, so help me, let me know what I need to do and stuff. And I feel like I'm just powerless. I'm just like utterly powerless, and I don't have energy to like the immediacy of trying to figure out a way requires energy, and not only like physical energy, mental energy, spiritual energy, emotional energy, and I just don't have any of the energy left. I just don't. And because like to navigate the system, for example, to figure out a way, it requires a lot of brain power to think, and I think my brain is rotting or rotted already, and i can't I can't figure it out, and it's sad, and it sounds like very much learned helplessness. It's like you just don't want to figure it out, and I feel like that's where I am now, and it's bad. I know it's bad. For example, like about like yesterday morning when I was going to the shopping center, basically, and 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 there was this Chinese lady, an older Chinese lady, and she wanted to go to a shop, and it's still early, so everything was still closed and everything. But everything, all the message in Chinese, and I only saw like two words that were in English. It was just cut. So I think she wanted to go to just cut, like to have her hair like appointment done probably, because I saw it's also 10:30, and we were just about like we were still a bit far off from like the entrance of the building of the shopping center, and she just looked at me and she sees me Chinese Asian face, so she just like, hi, hi, thank you, like she just like basically shoved her phone onto my face, and I'm like, oh, no Chinese, and then she goes, okay, thank you, and then she tries again, and I'm like, oh, okay, just go straight. Like I saw the just cut bit, like the second time, I just say go straight, and then she went straight, and then she goes, and I could see like she's in front of me walking, and I could see like just cut shop is just right in front of her, but she didn't see it, so she ended up like turning right or something, and then wander off, and I'm like, I'm not gonna correct her because she needs to figure it out for herself where it is and stuff. But as I was going to into one of the supermarket, and she was like, and she found me again, and she basically shoved her phone again, and like, where, and she's like, thank you, and I'm like, oh, okay, I got pretended not to know where she was going. I'm like, okay, just go like this, like basically showing her like she needed where she needed to go, like she needed to go back to where she was coming from, and then do a U-turn and go to the other side. And she goes, oh, thank you, 谢谢. And I was okay with the whole thing, but by the time it was in the afternoon or something, I was a bit pissed off with that. Maybe because I have a delayed reaction with a lot of things in my life, like with a lot of events. So like, just because I wasn't pissed off then doesn't mean I'm not going to be pissed off later. But also it's probably also the same with this right now, where I'm becoming triggered like this because I'm not triggered before doesn't mean I'm not triggered now. And I think I got triggered because she didn't even try to figure it out herself. That's what my thinking was at that time, like yesterday. And she just like basically transfer the responsibility of trying to figure out where this place is to me, a random stranger, just because I'm Asian looking. And I feel like there is a sense of similarities to my life when it comes to older women like that. Like even in my craft group is also like that, and it's like they're expecting the younger women to take responsibility to solve their problems rather than trying to figure it out themselves. But of course, like right now, I understand the similarities to my own problem. It's like I am trying to shove my responsibility to someone else to solve my problem because I can't resolve it. But I think maybe it's different because I feel like I have tried to resolve my own problem. I just couldn't. And then it got to the stage where my own brain has become so rotten that that it stopped functioning. So in a lot of case, I also feel like maybe that's what's happening to them as well. Like maybe they have tried so many times in the past, and then it got to the stage where they tried too long, too far into trying to figure it out themselves, that they haven't, that their brain has become rotten as well, and they can't come up with a solution, a simple one as well. So now I feel like them and I are in the same circumstances, maybe like we are just forgotten and we are neglected and abandoned and no one's helping us. uh, but there's expectations that we can figure it out and help figure it out. I don't know, I feel like logically I know I should just live. And yesterday or 2 days ago, I watched this Joko Willink video, the good uh, video, which is like got 15 millions of something. Like it was 10 years ago. Like basically he was saying, okay, you got a problem. Good. Are you still breathing? Good. Like if you're still breathing, good. That means you can breathe, recalibrate, reload, re-engage. And that's a really powerful motivation, don't get me wrong. Like it is very powerful and it is very like practical as well. um but does it really apply to me? All I got was like, okay, as long as you live, you can change your circumstances. That's basically the message, right? So you just have to keep on living because the message is that like as long as you live, there is always going to you're going to have an opportunity to flip your situation. And I agree with that a lot. And I just tried, but I got nowhere. So I think I just stopped trying and I just don't want to do that anymore because now energy is so much conserved already, and it is just in a space where I feel like my life is not in my hand as much. I can't change it. It has to come from the outside. Like, I know that sounds very passive and very, I don't know, it sounds like very whiny and whingy and childish, very much so, as if like you're not a child, like you can change your circumstances. It's like very helpless in a sense. But I feel like that is what I need, which is I need the universe to back me up. I need the universe to give me what I need to move forward. And I'm to give me just enough of what I can handle to move forward, to come to my life, and then I'll move forward a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, like that, right? And that's how most people change their lives as well. I think in the past, I guess I just went from nothing to overwhelming, well, being overwhelmed, nothing being overwhelmed, nothing being triggered, trauma, just trauma, trauma, and it just compounded more and more. The grief just compounded more and more, and it just takes so much out of you and your reserved energy as well. So you just don't have anything to give. Everything is just drained out of you, and you need to receive, and I need to receive something. And I think it's important for me to know that the universe has my back in a very tangible and not easily missed signs. And not just signs, but like something actually tangible and affecting my life in a positive way that makes me feel like, yeah, this is definitely, the heavens speaking to me. Maybe that's why I was like really into the Mudang show, TV shows, because um, you are dealing with entities that is not physical form, like not in the body stuff. So it just feels like you have someone that backs you up, sort of like you are not just have to rely on the physical world. Like there is something beyond this that can help you and can see beyond your circumstances and everything. Of course, that is a desire of mine that probably sounds very frivolous and childish, but I just don't have any more fight in me. I don't have anything. And I kind of like being extremely pessimistic beside me trying to turn it around in my head and saying, help me, help me, help me, rather than oh, just end it already, just end it already, just end it already, just blah blah blah, like being going towards the negative direction. I'm trying to go into an upward spiral movement. So I feel like I'm trying to move my needle from trying to always negative way to the positive way. That's where I'm at right now. I'm just trying to at least steer my mind going towards the more positive way, more open, more asking like the universe of like help me, help me. I'm open for help. I'm open for a solution. I'm open for things that I actually can do, and not a task that is so overwhelming that I can't do it, that just even reading the task makes me feel like I want to vomit because it's just too much for me. I just need something little 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 that I can do, or that comes to me in a form of nurture, in a form of good faith, basically, that yeah, we've got your back, man, don't worry about it, like you're always going to be safe with us. That sign, that signals that is saying that you'll be okay, you'll be fine. And also to end this period of my life where it just feels as if I'm always walking at a razor edge, and I'm always going to like have my neck cut off at any time. That feeling is very stressful, and the body is not cooperating as well. So it's just like everything is just feeling as if there is no point because everything is crushing me. And I know my circumstances compared to other people is probably less so, but I guess you have to also remember that I am, I don't know, middle aged, so I'm maybe perimenopausal, and I'm also neurodivergent, and my body is going easily, like, so just being alive is traumatic. And also have my autoimmune condition, and I'm trying to hold it together because it's only me, and I guess like I'm fine, and I don't have any support system at all. So there's that too. And I think given the circumstances, it's amazing how I'm still sane. I'm still able to give you this coherent thought somehow, and this articulation. Like it's like for me, I'm thinking, oh wow, you're doing great, honey, right now. Anyway, so yeah, so this channel is never ever was going to be a routine thing. Like I was never promising a weekly chat. It was just always going to be a channel where I needed to speak or rant or something like that. So it's, just maybe click the bell button so you'll get like a notification if you really want to hear from me, like talk like free range like this. Um, some days it will be just every 2 days. Some days it will be once a week. Some days it will be once a month. Some days it will be once every 2 months. I will come back to this channel whenever I want to. I guess it's not something that I'm planning. Like this is a channel just for me to make sure that I have like a space where I talk a lot and stuff. Valorine channel is probably a lot more creative channel. Like either I'm making vlogs or I'm trying to do something different these days. But I don't know what that is. I'm just trying to find my footing again so I can channel my energy, whatever I'm left that is anyway. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm currently triggered today, extremely so. So I might be in bed, like in a freeze response for the next month or so. You never know. um, but I'll stick around. If you don't listen, if you don't hear from me, I'm probably just trying to figure out how to take care of my life and myself. So that's probably it. It's nothing bad. And if I decide not to come back to YouTube or whatever, it's probably just because I'm not making money enough from YouTube. I'm just trying to figure out how to make money on the real world. So it's not a big deal. It's not like, like YouTube is not real world. So don't think about it as is. It's entertainment for sure. It's something, strangers. Strangers, sometimes we feel comforted by strangers, and I'm one of those strangers. And hopefully, my life, or a reflection of my life, or what I think is happening in my life brings a little bit of comfort to yours because maybe it is relatable. Maybe your life is also in that stuck mode that I am in right now. That maybe right now we are in the same journey, kind of from the outside anyway. And maybe when our journey diverge, that you might be better and have a job or something, or like have escalated into a better position status wise in society, that you no longer relate to me because from your perspective when you have changed that much you might be thinking, oh, she just doesn't try hard enough to change her circumstances, that's why she's still in that position herself. Like you can find something to do to make money. It's not that hard. I did it. I could escape from it, so she doesn't have any excuse. So there are a lot of people that are like that as well. When they watch me, it's like thinking she probably didn't try hard enough, which I totally understand. I'm probably, because like when I was younger, I'll probably take that particular view myself as well. And I understand that, until something happens to you that is big enough to break you, um, that can't, basically, it doesn't, you can't come back from it. I feel like you don't know the same circumstances. Like the relatability is different, I think. But anyway, I think that's enough. Like the sun has already set, so it's gonna get dark soon. I'll see you when I see you. Click like, subscribe, whatever. Support me at coffee.com/Warren. And yeah, if you wanna make sure that you hear from me, click the bell button so that you can get subscribed notification. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye everyone.